Today's a very special day because we are embarking on a brand new journey together. We're starting a brand new investing portfolio completely from scratch. If you've ever felt like investing was too complicating or would use too much jargon or required thousands, if not millions of dollars to get started, hopefully this series proves that all it takes is a little bit of patience and consistency. Now, our goal here is simple. We want to build a passive income machine that pays us over time. And we're going to do it together, step by step. We aren't starting with a massive inheritance, right? We're not going to sell like our yacht and start investing with that money. We're just going to start with an initial investment of $100. That's it. Since we're starting from square one, I want to know exactly where you're starting from too. When we hear the word investing, what is the very first emotion or thought that comes to our mind? Is it excitement, confusion, or maybe a little bit of fear? Hey, share it. Let us know in the comments. It's completely okay if you feel overwhelmed. That's exactly why we're doing this together. Let's talk about our game plan. How exactly are we going to build this? We are going to focus on something called dividend investing. Since we're keeping things simple, here's what that means. We're going to buy tiny pieces, they're called shares, of companies. In return for owning those pieces, companies will pay us a portion of the profits that they make in cash on a regular basis. Now, we're going to take that cash and use it to buy more pieces of the companies. It's a compounding snowball effect. So, how does that look like? So, here we are. We are going to provide a company, let's just call this company ABC. We provide the company with our investment, some money. That company in turn creates products and services, okay, to people. And assuming that these people are happy with the products and the services provided by the company, they in turn will pay for those products and services back to the company. And so the company makes money, right? Now, as the company makes money, some of that money goes back to the shareholders, us, for buying and investing into that company. And then again, we in return are going to pay those dividends, right? The money that the company gave to us, our dividends, we're going to reinvest it back into the company so that we can have or own more shares of the company. And so the higher shares that we own of each company, the more in dividend money, Dividend, dividend money, they will give us because we own more shares. Now, before we get started, here are some ground rules for our portfolio. We funded this account with an initial investment of $100. Moving forward, we're going to commit a monthly deposit of exactly $100. Every single month, we'll transfer $100 from like our bank account and put it into our investing account. And every time we do that, we are going to either buy shares of companies we already own, we'll buy some more of them, or we'll buy shares of new companies that we decide to buy. Even though we're only adding our own money once a month, I'm going to be putting out a video every week. These videos will track our progress. We'll talk about what's going on in the simplest terms possible. Because we're starting this portfolio together, let's get some input. What is the number one thing that we want to learn from this series? Do we want to know how to pick a company? Do we want to know how to read price charts? Do we want to know how to set up the investing apps on our phone? Share it down below. That way we can all get on the same page. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for. On February 25th, we officially made our very first stock purchase. We took our initial $100 and we bought into a company that we believe is incredibly safe and easy to understand. That company is WM, which stands for Waste Management. Why waste management? Well, we wanted our first pick to be something we all could understand. Think about it. No matter what is happening in the world, people are always going to generate trash. And that trash will always need to be collected. So it's a service we simply cannot live without. Waste Management has an incredible track record of paying their investors a piece of their profits and raising that amount every single year. Now, by buying WM, we're kind of buying like peace of mind. We secured our first slice of this company and we're automatically use every cent that they pay us right back into buying more of it. What we're looking at here is the dashboard to M1 Finance. M1 Finance is the app that we'll be using to host our investing portfolio. There are a lot of different apps that we could choose from, and we'll discuss the pros and cons to them in future videos. But for now, we'll focus on the M1 Finance app. February 25th, we can see here that we deposited $100. That same morning, we used those $100 to buy a fractional share. And of course, we spent the fractional share that we bought was for waste management. Going to our portfolio page here, we actually see the value of our account. Not only is it, do we still have our $100 that we initially deposited, but in the past 2 weeks, it has actually gone up 2.5%. We can go over here to this graph. And this graph can give us a little bit more information, just kind of on the day-by-day growth of our account. Selecting here, we see that on February 25th, our account was actually worth $99.33. So at the end of the day, from when we bought it to when the stock market closed, our account value actually went down. Sometimes that happens, right? It'll go up and it'll go down. That's just part of investing. But then we see that, a couple of days later on February 27th, at the end of the day, our account value is worth $104.88, giving us, almost 5% growth in 2 days. On March 3rd, we were at $106, right? 6% growth. And then on March 5th, we were at $107.17, over a 7% growth there. And then it just kind of went up again. March 9th, $107.35. And that's kind of where we topped off at for these past 2 weeks. But then we saw kind of a correction, right? The market corrected itself. What happened? Investors probably sold out of waste management when they saw how much the market had gone up, like, in these past 2 weeks. And so as they were selling, the value of each piece or each share began to go down. And as the value of each share for waste management began to go down, our value in our account that we were holding went down with it. So at the close of March 11th, we ended up with $102.57. Now, the important thing to understand here is that, yes, it was nice. Our account went up to $107.35. But the percentage is what we're really going to look for. This brings me to our next question. Let's think about our everyday life. What is one company, or product, or service that we use every single week without fail, just like taking out the trash? It could be a store where we buy our groceries. It could be the toothpaste that we use. It could be our favorite coffee brand. It could be a restaurant that people are lined up at all hours of the day waiting to put in an order. It could be where we buy our clothes. It could be a sporting goods store. It could be, just about anywhere, right? Let us know in the comments below. Everyday habits are actually the best place to find great investment ideas. Here's a very important and very honest conversation that we need to have with ourselves. Putting just $100 a month means that we're not going to become millionaires overnight. In the beginning, the cash payments that we get from our companies are going to look tiny. We might get paid a few cents here and there, maybe $1 there, right? It's going to feel really, really slow. But we need to promise each other that we're not going to get discouraged. We're planting a seed today so that we can sit in the shade tomorrow, right? We're investing long term. As we're getting into our investing journey, we can get information that is very mixed, that is complicating, and sometimes can contradict one another. But we're going to keep it very simple here. What is like one investing term or topic that completely confuses us or that we have absolutely no interest in learning? Let me know what we want to keep out of these videos or what we need to translate into plain English so we never get bogged down by confusing jargon. In order for this to work, we're going to have to stay disciplined. Every single month, we're going to deposit $100 and we're going to buy stocks. If the stock market drops, we're not going to panic, right? If our account goes less, we're not going to panic. We're not going to sell. In fact, we're actually going to get excited because that means that we get to buy, our favorite companies at a cheaper price. Now, this is just day one, episode one, right? And we are incredibly excited to document every step of this journey. We're going to learn so much about like stock market along the way without the headaches. Now, before we wrap it up, let's answer one more question that'll help us get into the right mindset. Let's think about a time in our lives that we had to save up for something that was really special, and we had to save up for over a long period of time. What was it? And how did it make us feel when we finally achieved that goal? We're going to channel that exact same patience and rewarding feeling for this portfolio. If you want to follow along with us in this $100 a month portfolio, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our weekly updates. Next week, we'll look into how our waste management piece is doing and talk about what to buy next. Hit the like button if you're ready to learn more without the confusion. Thank you so much for watching. Let's stay patient. Let's keep executing financial wealth, and I'll see you all next week.